This is Lucille Weed, and it's Monday, May 3rd. My name is Jim Mayola, Lucille, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what you're doing there. I see you're quilting.
Yep.
And your experiences here in Carroll County. Now, you were telling me that you used to work, was it in Bethesda?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For the National Institute of Cancer, was it?
National Cancer Institute.
National Cancer Institute.
It's part of the National Institutes of Health.
Mm-hmm. And then you were living in Gaithersburg.
Yeah.
But you moved here to Mount Airy. So how long have you been living in Mount Airy?
I moved here in 1996.
Uh-huh. And how do you like living in Mount Airy?
I love it.
Do you?
Best move I ever made.
And what do you like in particular about living in Mount Airy?
Well, I like the community we live in. It's
Mm-hmm.
a little community, and you walk down the street and you know everybody, and they talk to you, and people are sitting on the front porch, and you know, it's just fun.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it's fun.
Now you told me that you grew up in the country in Virginia.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? You raised...
I was on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
There were 10 children, and we learned to do all the farm activities that everybody does that lives on a farm.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. We were poor, but we didn't know it.
That's right.
And we had a lot of fun.
You raised horses and cows?
Cows and sheep and pigs
Mm-hmm.
and chickens,
Mm-hmm.
turkeys,
Mm-hmm.
and just had a lot of fun.
And so your dad was a farmer then?
Yep,
Mm-hmm. And so you ate food from the farm?
absolutely.
Yeah.
All of our food was. We even took our own wheat to the mill and had it ground into flour.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How far was the trip to the mill?
Well, that was right in the community.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a couple miles.
So you had a community
took
mill.
Took it in a wagon.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have a car,
Okay.
so everywhere we went, we either walked or went in a wagon or horse and buggy.
Mm-hmm. So about when would this have been?
Well, I was born in 1920,
Okay.
and we moved there when I was 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived there until I was.
Good morning.
There she is.
Hey there.
I lived there until I was, till I moved here in 1942.
Mm-hmm. So you've seen a lot of changes there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I see you're quilting.
Yep.
How long have you been quilting?
I started quilting in about 1955, I would think. And I decided I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like working by hand, so I
Big help.
so I put it off. And I like sewing with a sewing machine.
Okay.
And then quilting kind of got the rage in around the 1980s, early 80s, and I thought, well, I'll take it up again. And I started quilting, and I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a quilt in the fair every year and got a blue ribbon, and of course that inspired me.
Fantastic. Yeah.
So
So you've been doing it ever since.
I've been doing it ever since. And when I moved up here, that was the first thing I found out to do.
Was getting into a quilting group. Now, the quilt that you're working on there, how long will it take you to complete that?
We've been on this for a year, haven't we, Judy?
We have it. April of last year is when we started.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we're nearing the end. So
Yeah, we're coming to the
And
end.
how large is that entire quilt, would you think?
Pardon?
How large is it?
The quilt?
Mhm.
It's a king size.
Okay.
Is it king or
A
queen?
queen size, I think.
think it's
I think
queen.
they always buy queen sizes
Okay.
for here.
And it takes you about a year to do it.
Yeah,
and
we
then-
only work Monday mornings
Okay.
for
And-
about 3 hours. So it
And then where will it end up?
Gets raffled off.
gets raffled
It's
off
the
at
money maker for the. It's a money maker for the
senior
center.
center.
They sell raffle tickets,
That's
and in
fantastic.
October, I think we've got
3 ahead.
3 ahead.
I believe it's 3.
Mhm.
So this one won't be raffled off for about 3 years,
Mhm.
because we've got a backlog.
Mhm. So you've done a lot of sewing then.
Yep.
Yeah.
And just Judy and I are the ones that do the sewing.
And when you were
Now.
now, yeah.
There were
Yeah.
3 or 4 of us
Mhm.
who would be using.
Now, when you were growing up, did your mom teach you how to sew?
My mom's sewed all of our clothes.
Mhm.
She made them out of feed bags,
No kidding.
feed sacks.
Uh-huh.
My mother could not read a pattern, but when I went to high school, I took home ec and learned to use a pattern, and that way, so we managed.
Mhm. So she made all the clothes for
She
all
made
the
all
girls
the clothes
and the
for
boys?
all of us, yeah.
And for your dad too?
No, I don't know that she made his or not,
Yeah.
but all the kids.
Mhm.
And she never used a pattern. She'd take a dress and lay it down and cut another dress off of it. Of course, now when I look at it back now,
Mhm.
they were kind of crude, but
It worked.
yeah. But they survived. We survived through it. So
Now, did the girls do the inside work and the boys take care of the animals and the farm work, or how
No.
did it work?
no, we worked in the fields just as much as the boys did.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you were doing the hoeing and the weeding and all that stuff, and
Yeah,
and taking care of the animals,
yeah,
feeding,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
you didn't shear the sheep,
No, I didn't.
No.
I didn't do that.
but you had somebody come and shear the sheep once a year or twice a year.
Let me see, who did that? I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
We had sheep in my earlier years.
Mm-hmm.
When we moved from where I was born in West Virginia on top of a mountain, when we moved there over to Virginia, we didn't have as many sheep from then on.
Mm-hmm.
But we did remember shearing the sheep
Mm-hmm.
because my mother used the wool
Sure.
to make comforters for us.
Mm-hmm.
We used that wool that we sheared, the sheep, to make comforters for us to use in our beds.
Nothing got wasted, did it?
Not absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Now, how about school?
School, we walked 2 miles to school
Mm-hmm.
for all my elementary years. We didn't have a school bus until I went the last 2 years of high school.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Broadway, which was 20 miles, and we couldn't very well walk that.
That'd be a little tough.
So we rode those 2 miles on the school bus.
Mm-hmm. Now, how large was your elementary school?
There were three rooms,
Mm-hmm.
and we had all of the elementary classes plus 2 years high school there,
No kidding.
all in those 3 rooms.
So they'd have like first through maybe 4th grade
Yeah, in one room.
in one room.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And how big were the classes? How many students? Could you remember?
I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
I mean, was 15, 20, something like that?
I doubt that there was
Yeah.
probably 15 or 20 maybe in the whole
In the
room.
whole school. Oh, okay, yeah. But you got to know everybody.
Oh yeah, we
Mhm.
knew everybody.
Mhm.
They were all in the community. We knew
All from
everybody.
the- Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What else can you tell me about growing up in a small town like that? How about church?
We went 2 miles to church.
Mm-hmm.
We walked
Mm-hmm.
to church. We went to church in West Virginia,
Mm-hmm.
school in Virginia. See, we were living right on the borderline.
Okay.
And I didn't go any farther than graduated from high school.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was of the idea that a woman didn't need an education. And I was the first girl in my class that in my family that went to through high school.
Mm-hmm. And graduated.
Yeah. And I wanted to, and Mom says, well, if she wants to go, she'll go. She says, we'll use the egg money to pay for her school bus, the trip of the school bus.
Good for you.
So I insisted on going to high school, so that.
So then after you graduated from high school, what happened? What did you do?
Well, I think I worked at a place in Harrisonburg for a lawyer. He and his wife both. His wife worked in his office, and they needed someone to take care of their little boy, and I took care of him for a couple years. And then's when I heard about the job here in Maryland, and I came to Maryland and got a job at the National Cancer Institute.
And you were working with mice.
Yeah.
Okay. And so you weren't afraid of mice, though?
Absolutely not. When you grow up with them, you're not, and you're used to handling them, so you're not afraid of them.
And they were white mice, right?
No, they were dark.
Were they? Okay.
Brown mice.
Okay.
Brown mice.
And what did you have to do?
We were studying some medicines that happened to be in use at that time. So we had to inject these mice intravenously with this medicine. We had a little cage we'd put them in, their tail would stick out. And of course that vein runs all the way down the tail, and we could punch him in there, and I got pretty good at it. Very seldom did I miss.
You're a mouse wrangler.
And then at a certain time, you know what, this was 60 years ago, and I don't remember all the details, but at a certain time, then after they were injected, we killed them and had to autopsy them.
Right.
And we took out the organs, and mainly the lungs we were interested in. And we made slides of the lungs. We'd slice it off real thin. We had machines that did that. And we'd put it on a slide and then read these slides in on a microscope. And of course, they showed up a lot of little tumors, and those medicines were taken off the market right away.
So your work was very fruitful then.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah, it was interesting, yeah.
Good.
So,
And then you moved up here to Carroll County.
well, I lived there for quite a while and raised my daughter. I just had the one child and raised her. And then I went to work at J.C. Penney's for a while. I always liked to sew, work with fabrics, and I got a job in the fabric department. And I worked there for about 11 years. By that time, my husband retired. And then when he retired, we bought a mini motorhome and toured the country.
Did you really?
Yeah. One of our first trips was cross country. We were gone 2 months. And we, if we'd gone 6 more miles, we'd have traveled 10,000 miles.
No kidding.
We saw a lot of the country.
It's a beautiful country, isn't it?
It is. It's beautiful. There's so many beautiful places, and we like the country rather than the cities. Really enjoyed that. Then my husband died in 1986. And I lived stayed in Gaithersburg for about 10 years, and then I heard about this Wildwood Park senior development going up, and I decided I wanted to move up here. My daughter lived in Mount Airy, right outside of Mount Airy, and I was closer to her. So I moved up here in 1996, and been here ever since and love it.
Fantastic. And so you come to the senior center?
Yeah.
Regular basis?
I was here a couple months, and then I came over here and investigated what was going on.
Fantastic.
And saw that they were quilting, and I started quilting then, and I've been one of the quilters ever since.
That is fantastic. Well, Lucille, it was really a pleasure talking to you today. And thank you for taking the time and telling me your story.
Yeah.
You're a very interesting person.
I don't know about that.
Oh, I do. So thank you very much.
Okay.